Welcome. Now, I don't want before I get carried away. This episode is pretty exciting. That's why he's smiling.
Hey, this is exciting because if you don't know, everybody talking about it. The results are in, and your boy's Nightman and your boy Mel is gonna cover it from our perspective on what we thought about the 2025 Anime Awards. Your boy is hype out here, and I'm ready to go.
You ready to go, huh?
You see, I got what I got on.
You definitely presenting yourself well for this particular category topic.
That's got to be racist.
Hey, because your boy out here.
Just think of the words I wanted to use, but let's get right into it. So we're gonna cover this like the same format. We did a video in the past. Go ahead and make sure we're gonna put it in the description or put it up above one of,
and it's gonna be up there, down here, somewhere around here.
Yeah, it's gonna be somewhere you can click on. Because we covered the nominees of this particular anime awards in the same categories, in the same format we're going to be discussing now. So if you see that video, go ahead and see it. So we already made our predictions beforehand, right? So the first thing we're going to cover, we're going to say that we're going to actually get right to the best first. The best is anime of the year, right? So now, even though we're recording on YouTube right now, we're going to give a shout out to our TikTok people who already been watching all the bloopers and hopefully waited around to see what we're going to talk about for the whole, that we've been having them waiting for the whole stream. Now, the anime of the year is
it's no secret out here, bruh.
Yeah, if you've been living on a rock, I don't know what you've been watching, but we said this a long time ago. Solo Leveling was going to win anime of the year. We knew this.
100%. But it has some good contenders. I'm not going to hold you, but Solo Leveling, that anime adaptation, the music, the graphics, the story, the creme de la creme.
You know, some people was mad like, Solo Leveling mediocre. I'm tired of him farming all the time. I said, I'm like, y'all just be hating. Anybody, y'all
they don't like that boy.
One Piece
Sun Jin Woo.
Yeah.
The Drizzy Woo?
Yeah, they
Drippy Woo?
When I think about Sun Jin Woo, I think about the RDC video. That's not enough drip. That's not enough drip. I gotta redo it. I gotta say, I'm Sun Jin Woo. I can't be like Bleach or Ichigo. I have Sun Jin Woo. I got the black cats on. I gotta. If you know, that is hilarious. But yes, if you have been living on a rock, I know we had a person comment on a video way back talking about some Daniel Sakamoto days, which is not even a nominee.
Well, Sakamoto days is 2025 anime. This is mostly 2024 stuff.
Yeah,
but I mean, it had some nice runners up. Dan to Dan definitely had some nice stuff going on. Graphics I didn't like the graphics the most, but I like the storyline. I like the character development, and I like that dang home intro song. Dun dun dun.
Me personally, I think the main two is Kaiju number 8 and Fair.
Oh yeah.
That's
Kaiju number 8 and Fair, man. Fair, I know that had to be tough. That probably came down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, so Fair, like if you have not watched Fair Beyond Journey it's an S tier anime. It's so good. But we can get to the next category because it's not too much to add. You want to add something to this because it's not too much for us to say.
Nah, it's like I said. Each one of those animes were good in their own way, but there can only be one.
There can be only one.
Like the Highlander, dog. That's an old reference for you. You don't know nothing about that.
Now, we're getting into the best isekai. We talked about a few. I
called this, bro. I called it. I told y'all.
Listen, he can boast all he want. Yeah, and the only reason I watched the first season of ReZero, I liked the first season. Then I didn't really get into the second or third season. But the one I really enjoyed was Jobless. Jobless, most school 10 say Jobless Reincarnation season 2 was pretty dang good. Now, we get into spoiler territory now. I'm going to say some spoiler territory. If you have not been caught up, you can leave the video right now.
Or stay and just deal with it.
So the reason I think the season 2 was a lot going on because Rudy has lost his dad on Father's Day, by the way. Which was crazy. They literally say that episode for he can lose his day on Father's Day. It's so crazy.
Yeah, that was wild.
So that was a Father's Day present, if anything. So that was pretty crazy. I did not expect that. Very dramatic episode. Super good. It blew up the internet and people was going crazy. And then Rudy came back on. He got 2 of them things now. Not one, but 2 of them things. Now he got 2 wives. Rudy's like, he the main person was talking about his dad when he was a kid, when he had two things. Now he come around and do the exact same thing. He's like, damn, I'm just like my dad.
Hey, runs in the family.
And you want to say anything? Because I
mean,
I'm
not saying Jobless Reincarnation. I definitely enjoyed it, but what ReZero did, man, your boy Subaru is just like, he has it harder than Rudy.
He do.
He
I
dies
know he
and
died.
feels pain and comes back. Definitely harder than Rudy is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm not saying Rudy don't have it bad.
But Rudy's lost an arm too, though. He can't get his arm
but
back.
Rudy also grew it back, and Rudy is
He can get that arm back.
like this dude dies.
That's true. But
Like,
he come back
well,
though. But he comes back.
but he feels the pain from it, and he remembers.
I understand that.
And I think that's what makes it the worst about it. But he has his own things going on. You know, he's trying to save the princess, and he's trying to bring back Ram. It's Ram, not Ram. And she's in a dark coma because, you know, one of the seven sins pretty much ate her memories, and now she's in, like, it's a lot going on, and only thing you can do is just feel for Subaru as he's going through these different trials and tribulations. And even as they get their last victory, because I'm not going to spoil it too much, in this final episode of this past season, he still loses. And I'll leave it at that. Even when he has a victory, he still loses. And he loses so much. He loses a little bit of himself. He loses a little bit of his friends. He loses a little bit of hope. It's very emotional. And he doesn't realize it to the very last second. And then they switch it off. And that's the crazy part about it. So I think that this is well deserved. I think that everybody should go and watch ReZero. It's not so much about action, but as much as storytelling with this one.
Yep, and then we leave it at that. We can get to the next category. Now, the last two categories, I don't think it was this. The animation, yes, I agree. But this category, I disagree. Now, he picked Demon Slayer, even though I think the last season was overrated. Listen, what insert me overrated is.
I told you, bro.
Insert me overrated. That's exactly what it was. Now, My Hero, I thought My Hero should have won. My Hero latest season was crazy. And it had way more better backstory. It had way more story progression that was going on in that particular season. I'm not saying Demon Slayer is a worse anime than My Hero. I'm just the last season alone.
I think that, like, what some of the things that they look at is, I wonder what the ratings were between the two animes, like do IMDb and all the and Rotten Tomatoes, like what did they rate the episodes, because you know how you get a 9.7. I guarantee that last episode probably, like, and I'm not taking anything away from My Hero when I say this, that no My Hero episode touched with the last episode of what Demon Slayer did when they went into the Infinity Castle and that castle dropped, and the whole, like, emotion behind that, where old dude blew up the whole castle and it didn't even phase them. I think that they take stuff like that into consideration as well. I could be wrong, but I think so.
That's crazy. That one episode carried a whole season is crazy though.
So I could be wrong, but I believe, and I'm not saying the rest of the season was bad, but that last episode, it did something to you. No matter who you were, and when you watched it, you had to say, that last episode, god dang.
Yeah, the episode was epic, but I don't think one episode should carry a whole season though. Like,
I'm not saying it should, but I truly believe that episode did carry that whole season. Like, I enjoyed the rest of it. I enjoyed the whole traded art and everything that they had going on.
I will tell you this: besides you, the general consensus was more pivoted and catered towards what I was thinking. Most people were like, yeah, it was decent, but it didn't pick up to the very last episode, and I will leave it at that.
Definitely. Well, I don't think Bleach was even close.
Yeah,
because I watched the whole thing and I was just like, it's okay.
Yeah, I won't say it was close. I think the show I was talking about was just the last season was My Hero. So let's get to the next category, because the best continuing series, it wasn't too much of a,
I mean, and Spy Family, it was kind of bland. It was more so side stories and skippable things that didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, in my opinion.
Yeah, it wasn't good. But the only thing that was good from Spy Family was actually low-key that movie. The Spy Family movie.
Yeah, the movie was really good. I would agree with that.
The movie was actually good. But we just talking about last season. So we both agree. We already knew the answer to this question. They call limited budget works for a reason. And people Ufotable, they just got the best. And like even out of all animes to this day, you can put any
You see
anime.
what I got on, y'all.
You can put any,
You see what I got on?
you can put any anime when it comes to just the animation alone compared to Demon Slayer. Like it's a one-sided fight.
Oh, 100%. Like I said, there were probably the two closest ones were probably Kaiju and Solo. But like I said, only certain episodes. But almost every episode of Demon Slayer was just like beautifully crafted and created, and you could tell the meticulous time that they took to.
But let's be honest, like
perfect
Demon
the craft.
Slayer visuals is literally part of the lore to get people to watch the show to begin with. Like most people are like, dang, this show is just so beautiful. It catches my attention just how good the show actually looks. Not even story, or I'm not saying the story is bad anyway, but not even the story or anything like that. The first thing that catch their attention is just how good the anime actually looks. And then from there, they're like, okay, I like the story. Okay, I like the fight scenes. Okay, I like the protagonist. Okay, I like this. And there's other things that's built off the top of that. But like I said, this particular category, it was more like a Smash Brother round when you win and everybody just clapping in the background. Because it's like a foregone conclusion.
He ain't lying.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we already knew kind of where this was going to go. There's no one right now that's touching Demon Slayer as far as best animation. So hats off to Demon Slayer. Out of they got 2 awards out of the 4 categories that we picked, and that's pretty awesome, saying the least, about Demon Slayer. And that kind of lets you know where people stand with some of these different anime and what they decided to vote for. So if you haven't watched Demon Slayer, I truly recommend. It's about 4 or 5 seasons plus a couple of movies that you can go and watch, and you can kind of see what's going on.
Well, to be honest with you, we got to close it up after this, but just a little nugget because we're not going to many other categories. But the main 2 anime that sweep the whole category, the anime awards, was just Demon Slayer and Solo. Solo went crazy when it comes to best protagonist, best direction. It was going crazy. I was like, damn, this one got a lot of like. But I think Solo 11 season 1 was decent. Season 2 is what.
Yeah, but you have to also remember season 2 had already came out when this anime awards was going on, and so that definitely, it influenced people's opinions on the previous season of it as well. Yeah. Although they're only counting the previous season, the next season definitely heavily influenced, the last season.
So I will leave it at that. Is there anything you want to say before we close this one up?
Hey, you guys let us know. What did you guys pick as far as the Crunchyroll Anime Awards? Or do you agree with us or disagree? Have you made it this far? Let us know down in the comment. Make sure you subscribe to the channel.
And as always, we are Weeble Slice, and we are out.